Hello horror fans of YouTube, I am Torstein from Cinema Terror, and today I saw a film that I have been wanting to see for a while due to me loving the director's follow-up work on the underrated 2014 horror film Last Shift. This film, however, was made 3 years prior, and it is an ambitious mixture of several genres. The movie is called Cassadaga, and here are my thoughts on it. Cassadaga revolves around Lily, a young woman who is going through the worst time of her life as her little sister was recently hit and killed in a car accident. She heads down to Cassadaga, Florida, after she got a scholarship acceptance that also includes free living at the property of the university owner, I believe. She starts to get aggressive visits from an undead spirit that she believes might be her young sister, trying to warn her about something from the afterlife. Seeking guidance, Lily, together with a new potential lover Mike and his friends, visits a psychic to try to be able to talk to Lily's sister. Things do not go as planned though, and now the supernatural visits that Lily gets becomes increasingly aggressive and violent. Now that's one part of Cassadaga. As I said earlier, that this is a mixture of several genres. It starts out introduced as a supernatural film, but the more it goes along, it adds mystery and extreme violence. Since this is still a relatively new film, I am going to be very vague concerning the other parts than the supernatural in this film, as I don't want to spoil anything for you if you decide to watch it. The mixture of genres does set it apart, and there was an obvious attempt to do as much as possible, and I will say that it did keep my interest going from start to finish. But I must say that I would have been more intrigued if it had kept the focus on strictly being a supernatural film. There was a few times, once or twice, where there were some shortcuts being made by having characters do some really out-of-character stupid stuff to move the story forward. I should say though that I don't believe everyone will be as condemning towards those decisions as I was, but it did stand out in a bad way to me. I was also not a big fan of its long running time. It goes on for 108 minutes and it doesn't feel justified. There are several scenes that, although are executed quite well, just doesn't do much for the overall story. And even if it runs for so long and does spend plenty of time with the characters, I did not find myself getting attached to Kellen Coleman's character Lily. I'm not sure if it was the acting or just the way she was presented, but yeah. After so much time invested in her, I should be feeling more for her than what I find myself doing during the final part. The visuals are decent and only held back a bit by its budget, which I'm going to assume wasn't all that big. There are still some very nicely crafted scenes though, which saves the film and makes it an enjoyable experience, even if I have been a bit harsh on it so far. And although I don't necessarily think they went in the right direction for the story with the addition of the more realistic, gruesome stuff, it is executed nicely. Some of the stuff thrown at the screen are awful to look at, even if they don't have to rely on showing plenty of guts and gore. I would absolutely watch that stuff if it was created a non-movie for just that part of the story. Some of the supernatural scenes do get creepy, and it feels like there was an eye for horror behind the camera. The director for this turned out to be Anthony DiBiase, whose name I do recognize as he was also the guy behind the 2014 film Last Shift, a film I would absolutely recommend. He has also done other films in the horror genre, and he is coming out with a new film called Extremity later this year. After seeing both Cassadaga and Last Shift, I will definitively have Extremity on my watch list as soon as it is released. Cassadaga is a mixed bag, and that bag is filled, as the people behind this did try their best to deliver a film that was a bit unique and different. I think they do deserve praise for trying, even if I didn't feel like all of the choices was successful. I think Cassadaga is worth a watch, and especially if you've seen DiBiase's newer films, it should be interesting for you to go back and see his earlier work. With a few different decisions, Cassadaga could have been great instead of good. I'm going to give this film a respectable score of 2.5 out of 5. Have you seen Cassadaga? If so, what did you think of it? And if you didn't, did you at least see Last Shift? Let me know about it in the comment section below. And if this type of horror is your thing, then check out my review for the great 2015 horror film The Devil's Candy. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and that I will be back in the future for more horror related content here on Cinema Terror.